Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network.
Lovely stuff.
Hey, lovely.
I tell you what, though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is bloody lovely.
Lovely Holland. Lovely touch. Lovely Holland. Lovely touch.
Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of The Lovely Show.
The Lovely Show.
Justine Stafford, how are you?
I'm very good, Kevin McGahern.
You got the cap on
I
today?
got nice weather, isn't it?
Justine's wearing a cap that says, nice weather.
It's one of those, it's kind of like you don't even have to say to someone it's nice weather. This stops the chat. People
Kinda
can just read it.
It cuts out a lot of solid country chat.
Small talk, yeah. You're straight in there, straight to the point.
How are you with small talk? I like big talk. I like saying, how's your sex life with your wife?
Yeah, straight into it. I like both, but I tend to find if I'm on a bus and someone starts talking to me, they'll start with the small talk and they'll suss, oh, this one now, she'll be ready to handle the deep stuff, and then they'll give me their whole life story.
Yeah.
I had to get off the bus once and help a woman go to the hospital then because she got lost where she had to get off. And I was going to a meeting and I was like, oh, fuck, I can't leave you now. And then...
Bring her to the meeting.
Imagine, this is my granny. But we got off anyway then.
This is my solicitor.
And it was like ages away. So I was like, oh, I'll get a taxi. She's like, oh, geez, stupid. I was like, no, it's on my company card. My whole of my company card. I was like, I'm just not going to tell her I'm going to pay for the taxi. And I brought her to the Monsecure. And then I was like, right, I better go to my actual meeting.
Oh my God.
It was about 45 minutes late. But it was worth it.
Did they believe your excuse?
Yeah, they did. They're like, you're demented, but
I
fair
would
play
have
to
took
you.
a photo of her. Can I just take a photo?
But here's the thing, as we started talking then, and she was from Cavan, and turns out then she's a sister of one of my neighbours. So I was like, here. Small fucking world.
So I did the Late Late Show.
You did?
There a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And my mother and father came up to it. And I've been on the Late Late Show a couple of times.
Right.
Never bothered to bring the parents.
Okay.
But I was asked, if you want to bring your mammy for Mother's Day, bring her up.
Yeah. Sure, she get a few nice gifts in the audience.
See, that's the fucking thing.
Yeah, you want that.
No. Because for guests, they're on the production. There's like a few seats for production.
Oh, they don't
and
get
they don't get presents.
Stop. You're dangling the dream of taking it away there.
But
now.
to be honest, I think
you ruined her Mother's Day.
I can't remember what was on, but it was something like some sort of face creams or something. My father wouldn't be too interested.
No, it'd be wasted.
Even though he's has a receding hairline, so he's got a lot of face.
Okay, yeah, but he wouldn't bother putting creams on it.
No,
yeah,
but it would take two.
Oh, you'd run out of the cream fairly quick. Yeah.
But anyway, so there were Mum and Dad, and we're backstage. We're chatting to Maggie Malloy, my co-star, and her husband. And my wife is there as well. And then Mum spots a woman. And she says to me earlier, she's like, I think that woman's from Granard.
Oh, very good.
Which is close to where we're from.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, okay. And she was like, I think she is from Granard. I think she's one of the Mulligans from Granard. And I was like, okay.
Cool.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who the Mulligans are. And I certainly don't know this woman. So the woman goes to leave. My mum bolts out of her chair and tears after her down the hallway.
I love it.
Hello. And she goes talking to her, and she comes back. And I was saying to her the next day, I was like, why?
Why? Just why?
Like, you hadn't seen us in ages.
Yeah.
You're flesh and blood.
yeah. I was going to see you
And
anytime.
you tore after a woman who's related to somebody that you barely kind of sort of know.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, actually turns out they were different mulligans. So she was from Granard, but I don't actually know her. But a very interesting chat we had. And I just don't get that.
Yeah.
That thing of like, if you saw her in Longford, you wouldn't talk to her. But just because we're 2 hours away from home, I have to talk to this woman.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know if it's like a feeling of this is someone who'll understand my life a bit more. Or I don't know. I get
Man's
this,
not going to get that deep.
you know when you're on holidays and you see someone in a GA jersey?
Yes, this
abroad?
is exactly the same thing. I have no interest in talking to those people.
I know. I do. But I'm interested if they're wearing the jersey. I'm like, what county are you from? Do I have any references to that county? Do I
Why,
know people
Justine?
from that? I couldn't tell you. I don't know what it is. And like,
Are you from Cork? Yes. I have a friend in Cork. Okay.
yeah, I know. And then I have friends that
That's
would be
it.
like,
That's just,
but then if I have friends that always want to go to the same Irish bar everywhere, I wouldn't be into that now.
No.
I wouldn't mind, on the first night maybe, go down to the Irish bar if you want and find out what's around and all that crack. But I wouldn't be going in there. I'm like, I'm away to experience another culture. But I don't know what it does to me, Kevin, if I see someone just in a GA jersey or someone, and it's not as if I want to spend all my time with them, but I'm just intrigued.
okay. I am the polar opposite.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm on holidays and I see somebody who has decided to pack a GA jersey,
Yeah.
which is made from like fucking nylon or something,
Yeah.
it's not the best material for
I know, but
summer
imagine
wear.
that, the pride they have.
There's a type of sweat you get
Yeah.
from wearing
yeah.
a GA
and you
jersey.
chafe.
It chafes,
Yeah.
you sweat, and the sweat smells different. It smells
Yeah.
way worse. And it's not an ideal shirt to wear in
not
sunny weather.
airable.
So if I see that somebody has packed that shirt
Yeah.
just to meet people like you, I will walk to the opposite side of the street.
It's not that. I think I bring my GA jersey now. I have the
Do you know what it seems? It seems cowardly.
cowardly.
Yeah.
I pack
It seems like they're children who are
trying to
they're so afraid of being foreign. There's like, I just need a flag.
like a surrender flag for
to say
please,
where I
right?
am
Yeah.
from, so that I hopefully meet somebody from home. God forbid I'd meet an Aborigine or somebody from the local
Another
area.
yeah,
I just want to meet people from my
from
country.
home. Yeah, I don't pack it. If I pack it the odd time. I brought it to Bali in Vietnam, but the one I have is the women's Meath GA jersey, and it's actually quite light now. Genuinely, it is compared to a bigger, heavier jersey. But for me, it's kind of representing where I'm from. I don't want to meet people. I genuinely don't want people to come up to me. It's so weird. It doesn't work two ways. But I'm like, I want to let people know I'm from here and I'm proud of that. And if someone happens to ask, I'd rather it in that, like, because I was getting drivers, like taxis and stuff, and they'd be like, God, what's that jersey? And I'd explain to them. And, the Mead ladies had just won 2 in a row. So it was a very proud time for the Mead
It's kind
team.
of Culchie Peacocking. Do you know what peacocking is?
And then you put out your chest. that
No,
kinda-
no. So peacocking is a term. There's an amazing book. It's where every woman should read it. My wife gave it to me years ago, and it's called The Game.
Right.
And it's written by a guy called Neil Strauss, and he was this nerdy, balding writer from New York City, and he was sent out to do an article on these guys who do The Game, which is they're pickup artists.
This is a wild book for your wife to get you. Your pickup game is weak, Kevin. I know you've landed me, but I just want to let you know you didn't do it great.
I think she just found it fascinating. She was like, "You just have to read this. It's mental."
Yeah.
So he got in with these guys, and they're all pickup artists, and they live in LA.
Ugh.
And the main guy was called Mystery.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They all give themselves different names, and he gave him the rundown on the rules of picking up women. It's essentially manipulation, like it's total manipulation. And this is kind of before the Manosphere, before Andrew Tate and all these boys. But it's a fascinating book. But the guy who wrote it actually became incredibly good at it, and he kind of became the best because he was probably more. He's way more intelligent than the rest of them. But so there's several things you do. Number one, peacocking.
Right.
You're going to a club. You don't just wear a nice shirt and a nice pair of shoes.
Okay.
And trousers, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
You wear something mental.
Right.
You wear a huge, fluffy, purple fur hat. Or you wear...
Tinky Winky from the Teletubbies style.
You wear a stuffed parrot on your shoulder. You wear something crazy, and that's basically giving women an excuse to come up to you going like, oh my God, where did you get that crazy hat?
Yeah.
Straight away, you're into a conversation. That's peacocking.
Right.
Second thing you do is, let's say you see a girl that you like in a group of girls.
Okay.
They go up and they don't flirt with the girl that they like. They flirt with everybody else.
Yeah.
They make her feel so insecure, even though she might be the most beautiful girl in the group, in the club. Mm-hmm. You flirt with everyone else in her group, make them all laugh.
Oh, God.
And then she goes, what is wrong with me? Why is he not flirting with me? Negging.
Fuck, yeah.
Negative compliments.
Yeah.
So negative compliments are, you go up to somebody, you give them a compliment with a dig.
It's backhanded.
It's a backhanded compliment. So it's something like, oh my God, I love your jumper. Is that like a charity shop find? Or, oh my God, love your shoes. I think I actually saw somebody else wearing the exact same shoes.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, thank you. And then, oh, wait, why do I feel shit?
Yeah.
And it's basically breaking down women's self-confidence to the point that they pursue you. Other little tricks, like they always have loads of fucking beads and necklaces that cost like $2. But you chat with a girl and then you give them some beads and say, hey, I'll get that off to you at the end of the night. And it's like it's a weird little other excuse.
It's so funny though, all those things, when I see a lad doing that, like, you know, those things, I hate, like, I genuinely, those types of lads, I won't give them the satisfaction.
I don't think it works on Irish women.
No, it doesn't.
The other thing is the wingman, I mean, we all know what a wingman is, but they've got a specific kind of role for what the wingman does. And Siobhan, my wife, said years ago, she was in a club one time and this guy came up to her and he literally did lines from the book.
Fucking
it was like,
hell.
Love the shirt, did you get it at a charity shop, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God.
And Siobhan twigged and she just goes like, so which one is the wingman? And they just, like, their balls just went inside their body and they just left. But I don't think it works in Irish women, because if you nag an Irish woman, she's going to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. And she'll insult you right back.
Yes, way worse, and she'll be way funnier at it.
Yeah, be funnier and more cutting. Like, and anytime I see a guy who thinks he can get any woman, I instantly am like, you can go fuck yourself. I'd never give you the satisfaction. Now, does that go the other way for me sometimes, that then I go for people that I'm like, well, I don't think you should be going for this person, Justine, but at least they're never going to be like a player.
Yeah. Well, there's a happy. You want somebody who's confident, but who's not like reading it off a book.
Completely.
Or who's not trying to manipulate you.
For fuck's sake. If you have to read it out of a book now, you're already at a bad start. Fuck's sake. And also, someone wearing something insane into a club, I'm like, avoid that absolute walking.
Avoid that. It's like in the animal kingdom, if you dress in like bright colours and stripes, it usually means like that is a poisonous frog.
Yeah. I'd be like, is he checked out of a hospital by himself?
So basically, I think wearing a GA jersey to like Electric Picnic or Glastonbury or Australia,
Jesus,
you see a lot of them.
You do. And that's weirdly there. I'm like, God, I hate this.
That's Culchie Peacocking. But I saw a report, did I tell you about this? There was a report recently on RT News, and we went down to Australia to talk to Irish people.
Right.
And they interviewed just like a vox pop of like maybe 20 or 30 Irish people. And the question was, do you intend to eventually come back to Ireland?
Okay.
And they'd interview like somebody who's kind of just dressed like a normal person, like Australian person. And they would say, I don't know, like, I mean, the life is so good here. And, you know, the school system is great and the weather is just fantastic. I don't think, there's not a lot bringing me back to Ireland. Interview a lad in a Mayo jersey. Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah, I'm coming back. Interview somebody who's dressed normally. I don't know. I think I will. I mean, the job prospects are great here. Interview someone in a Longford jersey. Oh, I'm 100% coming home. I cannot wait to come home. And I was like, you really could have saved a lot of time by just counting the GA jerseys.
Yeah.
Every single person wearing a GA jersey was like coming back to Ireland.
Yeah.
And everyone who had assimilated clearly.
Yeah. Was having none of it.
Was like, no, I'm staying in Australia.
The weirdest time I saw it was we were in Florida and there was a lad, we were out at Disney at a water park and there was a lad in an Armagh jersey, and normally if someone's wearing it you're kind of thinking, oh, obviously they want to talk to someone Irish, and there was a group of us and we wouldn't like...
Just wear a sign. I'm
with a
lonely.
sign,
Talk to me about
No,
spuds.
but he was, and we surmised that lad's having an affair because he wanted nothing to do with us. And the woman he was like pushing her away from us. And we're like, lad, calm the fuck. We were like, oh, this, because honestly, you know how it is. You'd be like, fuck, there's a high possibility they'll know someone that I know. Like, honestly, we were like, the way he reacted, it was fucking bizarre. We were like, that lad's hiding something.
So, anytime a man rejects you, you're like, this lad's having an affair.
No, I wasn't rejecting him because he was with the girl. Like, we were all like, Jesus.
You're just chatting away.
Yeah, yeah. And instantly we were like, get the fuck away. We
Um,
were like, must be an affair.
that's interesting. Speaking of, what were you talking about? I read that they're gonna have, they're planning on having a Universal theme park in England outside London.
A Universal theme park.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw they're doing Disney are finally doing a music festival, which I think is fucking class.
Why?
Because think of all the Disney songs. How have they never actually done? Now, don't get me wrong, it'll be targeted towards children and dead, right? But there's a lot of Disney songs.
Took a few pills. He'd probably,
Double drop and Calpol.
if you're just go, part of my world.
Oh Lord! But I'm surprised it's taken them that long to do that. There's so many Disney bangers.
So Universal Studios to open first UK theme park, creating
Where?
28,000 jobs.
London? Or are they
Um,
going?
They said outside of London, I think.
Okay.
I fucking love Universal Studios. It's near Bedford, if you know. I don't know where the fuck Bedford.
No.
Class. I fucking love Universal Studios. I love Jaws.
Yeah.
I love E.T. if they still have that going.
Yeah.
Back to the Future ride. Have you ever been to Universal Studios?
In LA.
Yeah,
Yeah, class.
I loved it.
Yeah. But then they had a load of stuff as well. Jesus, because we went there at Halloween and it was everyone going around at night time with big chainsaws coming at you. I don't like the horror, Kevin. So that was scary. Very, very scary.
You said
Don't get your fake blood on my me jersey. No, I wouldn't even. I wasn't wearing my me jersey.
I don't
jersey.
I don't want it to mix with the real blood from the actual match. Would you be into that then? Would you go to England to go to Universal Studios?
It's an interesting one because I think I'd rather go further afield just to get a holiday out of it. Now it'd be cheaper, obviously.
I know what you mean. I also saw an interesting story. So in Japan, the House of the Rising Sun.
There you
are. Middle-aged man trading cards go viral in a rural Japan town. So, like, you know Pokemon cards?
Yes, I do.
Squirtle.
Yeah.
Pikachu.
Raichu was my favourite and he was harder to get.
Right you are.
Right?
So, there's a new trading card game where the stars aren't fantasy creatures, anime heroes, or even famous baseball players. They are just middle-aged men from the local community.
Oh, right.
So you have like the local fireman. The firewall card
And
features Mr. Honda, who's 74, a former fire brigade chief who helped keep the town safe for decades. There's the soba master, Mr. Takeshita, who's 81. He runs a local soba noodle making class. And now holds legendary status amongst the town's youth. So this is just our lads from the town who've been immortalised in a Pokemon-style playing cards.
And they've all posted the photos, yeah?
Yeah, I think there might be drawings. And now all the kids... show you a picture.
Oh, Lord.
Just lovely pictures.
Ah, my God.
Now, I immediately thought I want to do this in my local town.
Yeah. Well, you could do it with Irish, like...
Archetypes.
Yeah.
Paddy Losty.
Yeah, there you go.
His point skills are...
That's the thing.
7
What
out of
have they
10.
done? Have they skills on those or special powers?
I think they would have special powers. I don't speak Japanese now.
Fair.
But yeah, they would have different...
You'd be wondering which is the... You know, with Pokemon cards, there's always like 4 or 5 that were impossibly hard to get. They didn't make as many. Which are the really, really sought after ones?
I don't know. So this lad has an electricity power and he was a former electrician.
ESB.
ESB.
Fair play to him.
What would you, for sort of small town archetypes, what would you put in trading cards?
The sack. The woman who cleans the sacristy.
Oh my God, you need to bring women into it. Yeah. The tabernacle polisher.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, Sunday morning devoted to that church. And she goes in the winter now and has the heat and the generator
It's almost a
loaded up.
religious.
You'd swear there was something religious involved. But I'd have her up there.
Yeah.
The woman who runs the bake sale, who organises all that, the woman on the parents committee.
Tidy Towns.
Yeah, Tidy Towns.
Tidy Mary.
You have the post lady.
Post lady or postman.
Yeah, he's a
Postperson.
postman, and then I'm thinking of the woman in the post office.
His power could be like to fire letters. Like
Fire letters.
at you, and they'd stick in your head.
And make dogs sleep.
Oh, he's
calm
the
a
power,
dog.
the
The
power
dog
to
whisperer.
calm dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
I like a small town alcoholic who still wears a suit.
Yes.
This is the thing I'm going to miss most about getting old. Is that my generation and even my father's generation of men, we're t-shirt and jeans boys. Maybe a jumper if it's cold.
Yeah.
But my grandfather's generation of
the
men,
suit. If you were leaving the house, you wouldn't leave in
and
anything less.
it doesn't have to be clean.
No. Be
Be
nice if it didn't smell.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It would for everyone involved.
But I like how small town elderly alcoholics still wear a suit.
There's just
tie,
a bit of
and a
class
jacket.
about it.
Very classy boys.
It's just because, my granddad, the exact same. You could never leave the house if you weren't in a suit.
Yeah.
God forbid. It's just a beautiful thing to see. And even I just see old fellas on the train at times and they're in the suit. I'm like, fucking fair play to you. And you're probably just going to get milk. I love it.
Although maybe there's a lot of lads my age and younger who were into Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, maybe
There might be
we'll
a few
make
of
a
them.
comeback.
Few of them, if they hopefully a few of them become alcoholics.
We can only hope.
But they're a dying breed though, because it's too expensive.
It's fucking gone shocking expensive. Man.
So Tidy Towns. Oh, the lotto ticket seller,
Oh yeah, local GAA lotto.
the local GAA lotto ticket
Yeah.
seller, who has never had any interest in the GAA. In my experience, a lot of them never played.
I can't say the same for where I'm from.
Right.
No, they're sideline.
Former players.
No,
Sideline, go on.
sideline viewers. They
Yeah.
bring out the bottles of water. And
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, but they never played.
No.
It's almost, it'd be shameful for a former player to sell lotto
Sad.
tickets.
Yeah.
But it's somebody who wants to help out.
Yeah, and they're doing their own little bit in their own little way.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I hate it. I'm like, fuck off, I'm not buying tickets, but fair play to you all the same, going around collecting a few.
I sold tickets when I was like 12, 13.
For the GA
GA,
Lotto?
yeah.
Ah, fuck that. Were you getting a commission?
Yeah, 20.
Ah,
It was
right.
like 20 cent a ticket.
Right, I see how it goes now.
I think it was that. That sounds like a lot.
That's fair, yeah. That's serious
But yeah,
numbers.
it meant you could go into the pubs
Yeah. And someone would buy you one, surely.
and play with machines.
Yeah. As well, the one that pisses me off now, they're all going wild for it, the fucking house tickets.
Oh,
And they're
what's
about
that?
€150. They go around selling raffle tickets now for a house. Every GA club does it. It's a cult,
Yeah.
I think. There's a cult system going on. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, no, that's too
Pyramid scheme going on.
much.
There's no houses, Kevin.
there
So
is
how
no
do they
houses.
how do they have one? Where did they pick that from?
There's a ghost somewhere with a lot of GA houses built by players.
Everyone wears GA jerseys every day. I was talking to my friend there about vasectomies.
Go on.
And I was just thinking about the experience. I was thinking about in a kind of
You gonna get it?
think of it. I'm going to get it. Yeah, I think I'm going to get it, Kevin. But I was like, God, isn't it so? So my friend was like, God, it's just so. Now he's a man, so fucking ropey start. He's like, it's just so like dramatic of a decision to make, and I was like, it's reversible. He's like, I know, but still, you could have issues that maybe it wouldn't work. I'm like, okay, well, if you decided that you did want children, then you could still, AI, artificial insemination job there. Your fucking sperm isn't gone anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I then gave the argument of like, for years and years, women are just expected a lot of the time to pump hormones into themselves. Some have been shown to cause an increase in cancers, cause an increase in infertility. Women are just expected to pump fucking hormones into themselves
the
for
pill,
years.
is it?
Pill, patch, you have an IUD, an implanting put
Yeah.
in your arm, and the coil is a whole other shit show, quite frankly, of horror stories I've heard. And after saying all those things, they were like, God, geez, when you put it like that, did they even need to do vasectomies? As in, those things already exist, so what the fuck would you be getting a vasectomy for? I'm like, okay, this seemed to go down well. Love this conversation for us, you fucking dope.
Sure, you're nearly doing most of the heavy lifting there.
I was like, because
It's hard. I'm hardly worth my time.
for fuck's sake. And I was like, I don't know what the price of it is now, but I was also thinking, I thought there's probably something funny in this of like, you know, you think of like women who go through horrible experiences in clinics and things, that there's protesters. I thought, what would be, you just have Durex employees protesting outside vasectomy clinics.
Yeah.
We're like, don't get it done. Still use it, Johnny. We're losing our jobs. Or Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's protesting outside. We're like, nah, man, don't let those swimmers out.
I would be afraid of getting it done. I'd just be afraid.
So funny, men are so fucking, oh my God. Like, as in the amount of times I felt fucking scared.
But I wouldn't expect my wife to get all them things you're talking about.
I tell you now, if I could get a procedure, you know the way there's the women can get that kind of, is it that they split off the ovaries, but that's not reversible.
Right.
If I had the option to do that now, I would. I'd get that done if it was reversible. It would have saved me years on fucking putting hormones into myself and feeling absolutely suicidal. Like,
whatever happened to the old-fashioned pull-out?
Tell you, Kevin, let's not sniff at it now.
Nothing wrong with an old pull-out.
I don't want to be seen to be promoting it all the same, because it wouldn't be the safest for STIs and things like that. But
no, that's true.
Yeah.
No, you're still risking that.
Yeah, but there's a lot to be said for it. Now,
There's a lot to be said for a pull-out.
I have heard a lot of people who have had the experience of, well, it didn't work for me.
Right.
I think, did I look it up before? And it was like, I think if used absolutely correctly and accurately, I think is it a 75% success rate? I'm like, hey, those are decent odds.
Pretty good odds. And it does feel...
I know, we're fucking encouraging bad things here.
When you do pull it off, like...
Jesus, fucking, it's like...
When you pull it off, man.
It's a magic trick that you've completed. You're like, look at that. I didn't see that coming now. God, he nailed that. He nailed it. It's like someone going up and doing a flip on a bike and they land the landing and you're like, Jesus now.
Nailed the landing there, Pete.
Didn't think you were going to, at the very end there, I wasn't sure if you were going to.
Standing ovation.
Lovely stuff.
This show is part of HeadStuff Podcasts. Here's another show you might like.
I Know the Face is a movie podcast on the HeadStuff Podcast Network, hosted by me, Stephen Portion.
And me, Andrew Carroll. Our show is all about character actors, the type of performers you'll see pop up in supporting roles in blockbusters, the type of people you know the faces, but not the names.
Each episode, we pick one particular character actor and discuss a couple of their movies, shining a light on the performer's career while giving listeners plenty of movie recommendations. So the show is a must for cinema lovers.
In previous episodes, we've covered the likes of Christopher Walken, Don Cheadle, Guy Pearce, Mia Goth, Michelle Yeoh, Parker Posey,
Philip Seymour Hoffman, Sam Elliott, Tilda Swinton, Viola Davis, Walton Goggins, and lots more.
Listen to I Know That Face wherever you get your podcasts or on headstuffpodcasts.com.
Some things work better together, like NARS's Soft Matte Complete Concealer and Radiant Creamy Concealer. Soft Matte Complete Concealer erases and blurs imperfections with full coverage. Then, Radiant Creamy Concealer evens and brightens with a luxurious texture and radiant finish. 2 concealers, 1 flawless look. Perfect for a no foundation base. NARS, better together. Visit Ulta to shop now.
Springfest deals are still in full swing at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. And get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $300 when you buy 2 or more select GE kitchen appliances of $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/16, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
No, men, and I think it's because men are still skeptical of it in Ireland. It's far, far, far more common in America. I know a lot of lads actually in the 30s and 20s in America that have had it done. Well, because it's new still here.
See, the old-fashioned method was quite...
Snip.
The old-fashioned method was give it a bit of a snip and then you bend the tube around, kind of like if you were repairing a hose in your garden or something, or a tap. You cut the pipe, then you bend it backwards and then tie the pipe. And apparently I've heard that it was flawed. Sometimes the pipe gets loose. Yeah. The boys get out.
And that's the interesting.
And these boys are determined. They have one thing on their mind.
They untie it and they bloody weld it back together. They're fucking...
But the new Tony Cantel was telling me the new method,
It's laser, isn't it?
It's a burn.
And you can smell your Mickey.
Oh, you can smell your Mickey. You don't want to smell your Mickey.
I don't know. I've gotten hair removal. You fucking smell yourself singeing. I'm like, this is
flesh, though.
This is
burning flesh.
Yeah.
So the new method now is burning it.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure. It's probably better. I assume it's better.
I'm just picturing. Did you ever play the game Worms? Do you ever have it where he's the welding hat on and that's when picture the little sperms are like, I'll help you out here, brother. I'll get the job done from the inside. I think the more people that'll do it in Ireland, it'll make it more. Lads will feel less scared about it. I think it's still a bit new to fellas that they're wary of it. But I find it fucking hilarious because I know lads that do not want to have kids that are still like, no, I couldn't get it done. I'm like, well then what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
I think we're just squeamish about any kind of operation down there.
I honest to fuck, after talking to a few lads, I'm like, are you, like, as in you've no idea what women have to go through, like, so often. And it's hilarious, their reaction to getting something that would not interfere with you mentally or physically in the way.
Yeah. That is true. It doesn't affect you mentally.
And increases your risks of cancers and infertility. It's fucking insane.
No, you should just stop doing it. Stop doing it.
Look at it. If I had my way, I'd be pulling out the whole time. But like, people get wary.
It's harder for women to pull out because you don't know when to pull out.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I can't trust people.
No, you need to really trust the Mickey.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's hard. That's
tough going.
Yeah. But now, a Mickey is the only lip filler I'm looking for. You know? That's the only.
Jesus Christ. I
thought that joke this morning. I thought, that's a good one now. There's something in that. Do a bit about Botox.
Lip filler I'm interested in now. I'll tell you something.
When we're back on the Late Late, that'll be my opening line. And silence. And no one will give a shit anymore. I won't bring my parents now.
Oh,
I'll
Lord.
be there for that.
So I was in Toronto there.
You were?
I was shooting a scene for a TV show that's set in Dublin. Yeah. So I had to fly to Toronto to pretend I was in Dublin. That's how good of an actor I am.
They're fucking hell.
I was into the scene going, hey, how you doing, guy? Oh, no, fuck.
Shit.
How's it going?
But
Toronto's cool.
There's a lot of Irish. I know a few lads that I went to college with that are out there doing. Canada gets a lot of productions.
Yeah, it does. More. Yeah, it's getting a lot more. But I had the lift back to the airport. And have you ever gotten out of a taxi because you disagreed with him politically?
No.
No, you just.
I just go silent. Yeah. I slammed the door on a taxi once. Oh. And I wasn't expecting the aftermath. He got out and ran after me.
What?
It was horrible, Kevin, and I was terrified. And I was like, you have no idea how disrespectful you were, the things you said, how you treated me.
Was he a racist?
And hated women. And I got and I had asked, could we pull in at a shop? And he was like, there's loads of shops where you live. Just get out of one there. I'm like, it's 1 a.m, mate. And I don't really want to be wandering up the streets by myself. We passed like 6 or 7. And he didn't stop in any of them. And then the things he was saying, it was horrible. And he ran after me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm actually terrified now. And it was awful. He shouted at me. It was horrible. And I was like, man, I did fucking nothing wrong. I'm just making a point of your conversations were awful and you treated me very, very poorly. I was terrified he'd report me to fucking the taxi app. And I was like, well, I have a bone to pick with you, Mr. Taxi App. That fecker shouldn't be working.
So this was a free now job, was it? Did you leave a bad comment?
No, I didn't.
Did you not?
No, I was... you
just don't want him on your radar.
He knew where I lived. I was terrified to do something like that he'd come back because he was unhinged.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but anyway, sorry.
No, well, we all think we've got morals and we've got like principles until they're tested in a tiny way. And there was a taxi sent to me to pick me up to go to the airport, and I was like, I better not miss this flight home.
Yeah.
And
good thinking, Kevin.
He was like, we were talking about traveling, I suppose. And he was like, yeah, my friend, he just came back from Palestine And I was like, all right.
Okay.
And I was almost going to say like, oh, you know, like Ireland would be fairly supportive of the Palestinian movement. And I was like, I'm just going to not say that just to be safe.
Just right now, I'm not sure which way this is going to go.
And then I was like, how do you get on? How was Palestine? And he was like, oh, it was great. The weather was fantastic. He had a great time. And I was like, I was like, and he came back, all right, like. And he goes, yeah, he has an Israeli passport. And I was like, oh, right, that'd do it. Yeah, no, fair play. He was like, have you ever visited the Holy Land? He was like really positive about Palestine as a holiday destination.
Oh my God.
And I just didn't say a thing. I was just like, oh, no, it sounds lovely. I haven't got round to it. No, but
my God.
Yeah, that whole thing over there, it's mad, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, I wonder, should I mask my accent? Because if he knows I'm Irish, because we have a reputation,
we're
very vocal.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, should I just do an Australian exit? I'm just heading back to Brisbane, mate. It's Christmas time in Australia right now. I've got to go get presents for the kiddies. The toilet water goes backwards in Australia.
Have Australia even a stance? I don't know.
Don't think so.
Okay.
And I was just thinking of a random country.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. But I have friends. I've got female friends who are like, if they have a taxi driver who's like says something racist or something they disagree with, they will just like stop the car and let me out now.
Yeah.
I think and I admire that.
I know.
But I do not have that in me.
Yeah. And anytime I'm like, fuck's sake, Stafford, would you bloody stand up for yourself? But I'm like, but Ben, people try to tell me that is your body, that's how it's trying to do that.
Would you ever do like a self-defense course?
I did Krav Maga before.
Was lesson 1 how to pronounce it?
Krav Maga, is it? Is it Krav Maga?
I think it's Krav Maga, yeah.
Krav Maga.
I think, is that what the Israeli IDF are trained in?
I'm pretty sure it is. I did it years and years ago with Joe.
It's a vicious type of self-defense.
I did it with Joe Dudley because it was to launch a new Jason Bourne film that'd come out, and he does it in the film.
Jason Bourne, the comedian.
Yeah. Jason Bourne. Is it Bourne or does he go by Bourne? Jason Bourne.
Today we're going to be doing
I can't
Jason
pronounce
Bourne's
anything.
Krav Maga. Krav Maga.
Is it Jason Bourne?
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, it was some film he was in.
Although Jason Bourne had a TV show called The Bourne Ultimatum.
Yeah.
So
he knew what he was doing. He was sending people on Google to the wrong thing, thinking this is the film I'm looking for. But I find it's fun doing the class, but when I leave, I forget everything. I don't know.
No, you need to keep up the training.
And I think my problem is
you need to go picking fights like Batman.
Here's the thing, because it's very different to learning. I'd say I was at home with a friend and be like, look, I'll show you the moves I just learned. But if I was in a high panic situation where it happens all at once, you don't have time to react, I don't think my body would instinctively go to flip you over, throw you.
No, you need to do it so often that it's second nature.
Yeah.
You can't be going to a lad, okay, now you put your hand on my shoulder.
Sorry,
other shoulder.
Could you just approach me from the other side there again? I know you're looking for my purse here, but just could you come from the left instead of the right? You caught me there.
Can you hold the knife up high?
It's just I'm right-handed, so if I'm coming at you from that side, it's not going to be as effective, you know.
There's a lot to be said for putting your hands up in defense, like your hands are up in the air, like please don't touch me, and then just jamming your thumbs right into their eyes.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do, or kick them in the balls.
Them in the ghoulies.
Yeah.
The four most sensitive balls on a man's body are his eyeballs and his trouser balls.
There you go.
So if you can either thumb punch the eyes and toe punch the balls, you're away in a hat.
You're away. It's just my fear is that I would freeze.
Yeah.
It's very sad. Just giving examples from my life, that seems to be my
Which would be handy
response.
if you were being attacked by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Because he only sees movement.
Or what's those yolks they call? Are they even real? You know the yolks, they're invisible, are they?
The robot in Hunger Games.
What the fuck? Poltergeist. Are they real?
Poltergeist. A ghost. Are the poltergeists real? I mean,
I'll be honest with you, Kevin, I hear people in films talking about these poltergeists, and I'm like, is this something in the North Pole, or is it a fucking ghost?
It's a cold ghost.
It sounds like a Bigfoot.
Poltergeist is when shit starts flying around the room.
Right, okay. I don't watch horror films, so whenever I hear it, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck
a poltergeist is like you're at home and your lamp falls down and the plates jump at you.
I was at home the other night and the deep freeze popped open. What the hell was going on there? The dog jumped and he looked at me going, what the fuck are you going to do about that?
And you...
So I suppose I'll close it.
Just move house, I suppose, dog.
Yeah.
I read a story. You were talking about Ryanair. Oh, first of all, we have to respond to a theory sent in from a fan.
Oh, great. About the Bodhrán.
About the Bodhrán instructor.
Yes.
So this is from... are we allowed to give his name? I think so. This is from Joe Drummond.
Good man.
So we spoke about the Bodhrán instructor. You brought this story to the table, didn't you?
Yeah.
What's the story again? Just like recap.
Someone had sent it to me, and it was on Reddit. A man in Cork who met with this girl, Sarah, online, and then they'd start texting. And very quickly she was like, "Let's go and do a Bodhrán lesson."
Yes.
And turned up,
he
and
arrives
she wasn't there.
Yes.
Instructor was there.
But the Bodhrán man is there.
He's there, and they waited 10 minutes, and then they said, "Fuck it, she will just start." He left. She'd blocked him. Never heard from her again. And a week later, just curiosity, he was like, fuck, I'll just go back in there and hear if the Bodhrán, if she ever showed up, I'll ask the Bodhrán instructor. And he walked in and there was a man in there on a lesson on his own. And he was like, did Sarah ever turn up? And then at that point, the new man
Sarah?
on the lesson is like, Sarah, I'm waiting for Sarah.
Oh. So it was a honey trap Bodhrán.
Yeah.
Honey trap Bodhrán scam.
Sounds like a type of Bodhrán. A honey trap Bodhrán.
So Joe Drummond has a theory. Now,
Okay.
I haven't read this yet.
Great. We're getting in real time.
So, hi, Kevin and Justine. That's me and you.
Hello, Joe.
Big fan of the pod.
Hello, Joe.
Here's what I think is going on with that Bodhrán story.
Great.
I think there's a woman in cahoots with the Bodhrán instructor and she poses as Sarah. We would agree with that.
Yes, okay.
That would keep the instructor from learning anything about the guys and accidentally spilling the beans.
Yeah.
Also, I just can't picture a Bodhrán instructor convincingly posing as a woman.
I think he dropped the penny at some point. I think
That is a funny idea, though.
Yeah.
The Bodhrán instructor, like, hello, I'm Sarah. A diddly 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 do. What's your favourite sexual position?
What's your favourite drum sound?
Which character out of Friends do you think you're mostly like? I think it's Monica.
Do you prefer a jig or a reel? Fuck it, no, sorry, Friends, back to the Friends thing. I'm giving too much away.
Let's call down to the pub for some WKDs. A woman's drink. If I had to guess, I'd say she is his wife/girlfriend. And she probably got so annoyed that he wasn't getting anyone to sign up for classes that she decided to take the matters into her own lava.
Oh, Lord.
A Bodhrán Bonnie and Clyde, if you will.
Oh, Lord.
Thanks for making such a wonderful podcast and keep up the great work. Joe.
Good man, Joe.
Well, Joe,
Interesting. Yeah, I get what you mean, that she couldn't say the truth to the Bodhrán instructor because he'd spilled the beans.
It's an interesting theory, Joe. So you think it could be the Bodhrán player's wife?
Yeah.
I want to hear more. I want to see what Sarah looks like. I want to reverse Google image her photo.
That's a great shout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gotta
we
do that
need the
shit.
person on Reddit didn't give this information.
If you're chatting to somebody online that you haven't met in person, you gotta reverse Google image that face.
Yeah.
Could you be using Justine's face?
Yeah, and fuck me, Kevin, it happened this week. A guy got on to me and was like, hey, are you this girl on this dating account? And I was like, fuck's sake, no. And I've been on to Facebook, literally, I swear to Jesus, 40 times now to report an account that is set up as me and scamming people and saying it's my private account, and it's fucking not. And they won't take it down. And I'm like, fuck you, Facebook. Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. The whole lot of you fucking cunts.
Facebook have gotten worse.
Absolutely worse.
In the last couple of years of clamping down on that kind of shit.
I think it's because
Daniel O'Donnell's in the hot water.
The poor man.
So somebody is posing as Daniel O'Donnell.
Oh, Jesus.
And claiming that he's not well.
And
they're looking for money. And Daniel had to put out a video saying like, I'm actually 100%
I'm all G, baby. Don't be sending
and
that
I'll
money.
never ever ask you for money.
Yeah.
But I might ask you for love.
Yeah. But that's for free. There's no price on that. You know?
You can't put a price on
that. But it's annoying me, the dating app stuff, because that's not the first time. And it fucking pisses me off because, you know, people could actually think it's me. and then I stand them up or whatever, and then they meet me. That's my fear. Someone will meet me and be like, "You fucking bitch, where were you 2 weeks ago?
Where were you at that Bodhrán lesson?
Where were you?" Yeah, I just it really pisses me off now, and it's sad.
You had a Ryanair story there last week.
Yes,
I got a Ryanair story for you here.
Oh, here we go.
A Gloucester woman.
Did someone have a wonderful experience, I'm going to guess.
A Gloucester mum says she was left in shock after the police were called after being unable to pay for a tube of Pringles.
No.
Officers escorted the 55-year-old off of. I love when they give.
On.
I love when they always give their ages.
Yeah.
Like, do they ask if you're being like interviewed for a newspaper? And what age are you? What the fuck difference that make?
Yeah.
It's like disgrace.
I'm not sending a drawn to the fucking Don Connery and the Dane. What does my age matter? Disgraced
podcaster Justine, 32.
Like, 31. Thank you very much, 31, Kevin.
Sorry. Well, this is a future. So she was escorted, the officers escorted the 55-year-old woman off a Ryanair jet after she ate the crisps from the trolley before paying. Anne-Marie Murray. Oh, shit. She's one of ours.
No more power to her. I'm delighted for her.
Ordered Pringles, water and a cola on a flight from Tenerife to Bristol on March 28th. The bill came to £7. But she was unable to pay when the in-flight card machine would not accept payment. And she had no cash.
But Jesus, how is that her fault?
How is that her fault?
Fuck this now.
Didn't pay your internet, Michael.
Yeah.
3 police officers. Oh, it's good they had 3 for a 55-year-old woman full of Pringles.
Yeah. Fuck me. There was nothing else going on that we need to have people on the streets for. No. Send 3. They were going to send 7 originally, actually.
She's not fucking John Wick. Fucking 3 police officers arrived and put the housing association worker in the back of their van. Not even a car. The back of the paddy wagon. The airline crew said they called ahead for police assistance after a passenger became disruptive. But Anne-Marie said, I wasn't disruptive. There was no raised voices. I was just doing my best to pay. I tried to tap and pay.
Yeah.
But the machine didn't work. Yeah. They tried with another machine, and when it still didn't go through, I offered to get cash when we landed, and they said, oh, you can't do that.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, you can't do that.
Fuck off.
Who do you think you are? Anne-Marie Murray.
This is absolute disgrace.
Anne-Marie and our partner asked the steward if they wanted the Pringles back and was told no. She said, I thought it was a joke when the crew said they called the police.
Lovely acting here, Kevin. This is amazing. I want a podcast series on this.
I was shocked when the police came on board and we were asked to leave. It was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I had done everything I could to resolve it. They then told the police I had refused to pay. But that wasn't the case. I wanted to pay. My card didn't work and I had no cash. Anne-Marie had been visiting the Canary Island with her partner for a 4-night mini break to celebrate her birthday and said the incident ruined her trip.
Naturally.
Oh, going to jail would do that.
They would, yeah, over a fucking tube of Pringles.
She said she had previously witnessed another passenger struggling to pay with the chip and pin card from the same bank on another Ryanair flight and was shocked when the staff didn't take a more pragmatic approach. She said, luckily, the police were lovely. And after I explained the situation, they took me to a cash machine and I was able to pay the £7.
Isn't that absolutely...
The officers were laughing.
Yeah.
And the officers were laughing. I couldn't believe it.
This has elevated the story
After
so
I
much.
paid, the crew told me, we're banned from flying a Ryanair. I'd never fly with them anyway after what happened. You're fucking dead right. Avon and Somerset Police said, Avon,
yeah.
Barksdale. And Somerset Police said, we received a report of a disruptive passenger. That was an Australian accent.
Yeah. You're not in the taxi now, Kevin.
What is an English accent? We received
a
report of a disruptive passenger on an inbound flight to Bristol. Why can I not do this accent? Officers briefly attended, but quickly... I keep doing Australian. I can't get out of Australian.
That's the Irish in you. It feels wrong to be doing an English accent.
It feels wrong to be doing an English accent.
That's what it is.
Officers briefly attended but quickly established it was related to a civil dispute and no action was taken.
So there you go.
That's absolutely fucking insane.
Isn't that shocking, Justine?
Do you know what though? Oftentimes I've been on the bus and someone has enough on their leap card and I tap it for them.
Oh yeah.
How did someone not offer?
How does somebody not offer to
Not
tap?
offer to tap for her.
Give her a little tap. £7.
£7 fucking pound.
£7. Come on, man.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's the principle of it. I shouldn't be paying £7 for a little tub of fucking Pringles and a water and a Coke.
I could see that woman being radicalised.
Yeah.
Just getting on the next plane and just flying into a big building.
Pringles headquarters. I like to think their building is a big tube of Pringles.
Oh yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, I did see a thing on buildings shaped like the products that they sell.
Okay.
Like that. I like that. I think we should do more of that.
I'd love to see Ann Summers.
A big pair of tits.
Big fucking dildo. Class.
It's interesting. When I think of Ann Summers, I think of bras. You think of behind the counter.
Yeah. Top shelf stuff.
It'd be good as well. A big dildo shape would be good in an earthquake. Because it would probably counteract the shaking of the ground.
Oh, right. I thought, in my mind, they were like, right, I have one last chance to have a good time. I'll climb on top of it. As the earth shakes, I'll go out with a bang.
So there you go. There's more terrifying news from around the world.
There you are. Yeah.
Well, on that bombshell.
Yeah.
Justine, this has been lovely.
This has been lovely.
Please do keep sending us in your lovely stories at thelovelyshowpodcast at hotmail.com.
It's Gmail, no?
Sorry.
I was like, is he doing a bit?
I don't know why I said Hotmail. I haven't had a Hotmail account in fucking 20 years. The Lovely Show Podcast at gmail.com.
There you go.
Send us in your queries, your questions, your thoughts, your fears,
your
complaints. Yeah, anything.
Absolutely.
Or if you want some advice from two people who have no business giving advice.
We'll do our best.
We'll do our best.
We'll
take a swing at it.
Yeah.
You've been lovely. Thank you very much.
Go on. Good luck.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.